Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the life you've built isn't yours. You did everything right. You studied, worked, followed the rules. You gave everything. But inside you feel only emptiness. You realize you're not living, you're acting. And that script you've been reciting, you never chose it. Society handed you a list of obligations: behave, obey, produce, pay, and FCK off. No one ever asked you what you wanted. As a kid, they told you, sit down and shut up. At school, curiosity was punished. At work, it was all about clocking in and kissing the right asses. Then came mortgages, bills, weekends that last a breath. And all of that is called life. But inside you, something broke. And not just today. They tell you you're lucky, that you're a successful man. But you don't feel alive. Smiles, applause, respect. All boxes checked. But you no longer recognize yourself. Every day is fake, every line is a script. And when you stop pretending, something happens. You're no longer applauded. You're judged. You've changed. You're throwing it all away. You've lost your mind. But the truth is, you just stopped lying. When you stop performing, the world gets scared. Not because you're wrong, but because you're right. You're a mirror reflecting their prison. And they'd rather smash the mirror than face themselves. You're not crazy. You're just awake in a world of the walking dead. In a world that survives by pretending. Becoming authentic again is the end of the world. Theirs. You even tried to silence that voice inside you. But it turned into a scream. This is not my life, so you stepped off the stage. Not to make some grand exit, not to attract their spotlights. No, you did it to breathe. To take off the mask that was suffocating you. You walked away from the pre-written script, and with it you lost certainties, friends, status. But you found yourself. The truth is, the system doesn't want awakened men. It wants men who function, who obey, who produce. Because a man who thinks is FC King dangerous. Because he stops saying yes. Because he starts asking why. And the one who starts asking, investigating, digging deeper, refusing prepackaged answers, well, he sees everything for what it is, a farce. You see the actors, the fake smiles, the fear underneath, always present. And above all, you see yourself. How long have you been on stage without even knowing it? And then you understand. You can step out. You can choose, not to destroy, but to save yourself. Not to fight, but to remember who you are. You haven't been defeated, you're just awake. And that awareness is an earthquake for everyone. You first, because, let's admit it, it brings you to your knees. But let's admit something else too. It sets you free. You stop chasing success that doesn't resemble you. You stopped pursuing empty goals. You stopped lying to yourself. And that's why they call you unstable. And let's be honest, unstable is the polite word. They call you ungrateful. Sure, you've probably had that spat in your face too. But the real crime is something else. The real crime is continuing to live a life that kills you inside. And that crime, you don't want to commit it anymore. You didn't leave the system out of rebellion. That's a teenager's weapon, those magnificent naifs. No, you walked away out of love. Love for truth, for freedom, for your soul. Dislove for the easy labels, the masks, the clown show of society. And the solitude that follows is real, but also sacred. Because at last you no longer belong to a cage. You belong to yourself. You don't need to destroy anything. Just stop playing the fake. The moment you stop sticking to their script, the system trembles. Because if one does it, others can too. And that is the real threat the system cannot accept. But it's also for us the real thrill. They'll be waiting to call you disillusioned. But you know that it's in disillusionment that freedom lives. Because the illusion was the real prison. You don't need applause, you just need truth, presence. And your presence now weighs more than 1,000 words. Alone, free, dangerous. You don't shout who you are, you embody it. You're not trying to convince anyone. You live. You don't chase the image of the perfect man. You become a real man. Tired maybe, but real. Silent but whole. Invisible but alive. And that, in a world that lives on fiction, is pure power. If they ask you, why did you give it all up? Answer with the smile of someone who gave back what was never his and took back what no one can touch. His own sovereignty, his own peace, his own life. Not the role, not the mask, but the bare, living, authentic heart of who you really are. You're not alone. There are many of us. You won't find us in mainstream headlines, trending on socials, or being interviewed by some asshole in a tailored suit. No, we're not there, and we never will be. We gladly leave the stage to the over-celebrated who bask in on-demand applause from a lobotomized audience. You'll find us in the silence, in the gazes that seek no approval, in the calm of those who no longer want to win the game, because they've realized the real victory is to stop playing. That's how the world changes. Humanity, all of humanity, takes a step forward when one of its members takes one, when just one, even a single one, stops pretending. All of humanity takes a step forward when someone chooses truth over applause, with someone like you. Right, dangerously free, if that's how you feel, if you've stopped participating in their play, if you've taken off that mask they glued onto you your whole life. Write it if you've chosen silence over noise, truth over image, solitude over fake belonging. Write it if you too have realized that being whole matters more than being accepted, that staying awake matters more than being applauded, that living matters more than obeying. Because someone who is dangerously free can no longer be controlled or bought or silenced. He has become what every system fears. A man who remembered who he is, and from that moment, from that truth, there is no going back, never again. The video you see on screen is perfect for continuing your journey of growth and discovery, because always remember, thinking for yourself sets you free.